So yeah, hi there. In this video, I'm going to go through a conceptual model of cMOOCs um, based on my experience with a number of MOOCs, but particularly the Learning Creative Learning cMOOC that's currently running out of Mitch Resnick's lifelong kindergarten group at the MIT Media Lab. So a couple of things before getting started here. This is just an experiment, like LCL. I hope people will take it in the spirit I make it, which is I'm just playing around with ideas. As I get down into the model, the cubes you see represent roles we play. It's important to remember that they don't represent like the whole person; they're just representing certain things certain roles that each of us take on. Reality is vastly more complex than the model I present here. So this is just a little an attempt to just try to get an understanding of MOOCs with a subset of the reality that is a cMOOC. This conceptual model certainly derives from the work of George Siemens and Stephen Downes, who were the people who made the first MOOC, or developed the idea of MOOCs. And as you can see by the two tweets above, or above at the top of the screen, George Siemens certainly is not opposed to the idea of viewing the networks that are created in MOOCs is similar to networks of neurons. And Stephen Downes has explicitly said that he was thinking of neural networks when he was developing MOOCs. So with those caveats, let's get started. So this is an overview of, in the background here, of Cambridge from the left, Boston on the right, Charles River here. And MIT is right under that those white dots. So let's go down and take a look. So here I have the artifacts that have been created by the MOOC, some of them again, right? Not all of them. Here I have sort of the cloud of us, or the participants in the MOOC. Again, representing our roles as MOOC participants, not the entirety of our entity. And then down here, these dots represent people at MIT. So let's say this is the Media Lab. This is Mitch Resnick's group here. These are other groups, other buildings at MIT. And again, right, this is just a small subset of reality. There are literally hundreds of these groups at MIT. Thousands of students, and MIT is just one university in of dozens of universities in Boston and Cambridge, right? So Mitch and his group developed LCL, and let me just turn on something here for a second. And the lines here represent sort of exchange of information between people. And obviously Mitch is exchanging lots of information with his own team, as they are with him. And Mitch is also exchanging information with other groups at MIT, people leading other groups at MIT, and obviously the administration at MIT. So there's work related to LCL going on at this level, sort of making the course happen and providing the resources for it. I'm not going to focus too much on that, but just want to sort of start there. And I'm going to turn the edges off for a bit. So we all start off, as we begin the MOOC, with this sort of this cloud of us. We're obviously from all over the world, but through the internet, we sort of have gathered here over MIT in the Media Lab to be part of this MOOC. But at the start of the MOOC, we're very disconnected, right? It's just a bunch of us who've shown up for this experience. And you know, we all go to the website and we read about it and we listen to Mitch and we get a sense of what we're in for, and we can connect to resources that Mitch and his team have put up to get us started. But again, you know, at this point, there are very few connections between people. And as we join the Google Plus community and start blogging about it and tweeting about it, we start making links between ourselves out here. And then the course gets started. And I've represented that as this first lecture or presentation that Mitch did. And sends out a lot of information to all of us, right? To all participating in the group. And obviously, Mitch and his team are also, you know, paying close attention to this stream of information coming out in that first presentation, right? And associated with the video presentation are readings for each of these, for each of the weeks. I think that's all I wanted to say here. And immediately after, or even before that first presentation, people were starting to tweet, were starting to add to the the main Google Plus group, and we're also starting to get to know the people in our own little groups and posting there, and some of us are starting to blog about LCL. I think I've got one to come out here. Oh, right, lots of us are writing blogs, or some of us are writing blogs. So there's this information that starts really flowing rapidly. And as we do that, we start to form connections here. And if I did this again, I would have these connections gradually thicken and intensify, but I sort of was working out these ideas as I made the model. So we have the fully networked collection of us here. And through these colored lines, I'm just representing the information that we're exchanging on the Google Plus group, on Twitter, via the blogs, and that was after the first week. And then the second week, we get the lecture from the presentation from the ETOs, and we're assigned to talk about a learning gear from our childhood based upon Pappert's writings, and we start posting, sharing information on our small LCL groups, and some of us on the big LCL group, and again blogging about it and sharing the information in other ways, and there is communication going between Mitch and the other LCL group moderators, between all of us up here in the network cloud. So there's this sort of flow of information from first Mitch and his team put it up here, comes out to us. We comment upon it and sometimes directly talk with Mitch and his team, but mostly we're sending information out here to these streams and sharing that way, which of course Mitch and his team are watching what appears out in these various streams. So there's a lot of information flowing around. And then the third week was the Dale Dougherty and the Buckley, and we were supposed to create Scratch projects, which many of us did. Right? And we shared those, and we learned from each other, and the density of our networks is increasing up here. And then in the fourth week, it was the infamous Alan Kay dominated lecture, and that certainly generated a lot of feedback. Mostly, at least most of what I saw was on the LCL main group, and our assignment was to work with the drawing program, whose name is escaping me right now. Anyway, and you know, obviously, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of these programs were created, and I've just shown two here. And then the last week's lecture on open learning, again, generating more artifacts, a stream of more artifacts. Some of us working with the Stack Exchange, and some of us offering courses and Hangouts, and et cetera. And there were, right, and again, there were lots more than I'm showing here. And as the course continues, we will be producing more artifacts. And as I said before, of course, the Mitch and his team are watching all of this happen, right? They're probably not looking at every single Scratch project put up on the Scratch website, or every single subgroup on Google+, but they're keeping an eye on things and sort of, you know, trying to understand how this is all developing. And of course, that gets fed back to us in the form of you know, upcoming lectures where they share what they've seen, and the chat, which is becoming a big part of each presentation, and just direct communication back and forth with us, with all of us or some of us. And so we have this network that we've built very quickly, which is doing something, maybe. Exactly what is not clear to me. So we're certainly producing a lot of information. The question is, I guess the question I have is, what are the potentials here? What emergent properties might this have? I don't know, but I have the sense that there are interesting possibilities. And I think, you know, we know that most of the world is going to be living in cities within 100 years, right? And cities are, we're going to have to get a lot smarter about how we run our cities. There's in fact a whole movement within the urban studies community called Smarter Cities, and you know, I think part of the emergent properties that are possible with cMOOCs is that they're sort of training a lot of us to work in these networks that can be developed very quickly with the current tools of the internet, and I assume will become even easier to build in the future. And so the cMOOC experience is in a way sort of training us to be better at running our communities in the future, making our communities much smarter. So that's where I am with this. I would love feedback. I will post the model online so that anybody who wants it can download it. And again, this is just very experimental, just playing around with ideas here. So Thanks. Thanks for watching.